Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Professors here. As you can see, I am accompanied by Mr. Kaz once again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. A little sick today, so pardon if I sound a little scuffy. As usual for Cas Cross, I got sick the night before a stream. But more importantly, if you're seeing a little bit of the party hats and the happy birthday, it is Lucy's birthday, so I hope chat will wish her a very happy birthday before we get into the stream.
Yeah, thank you. It is my birthday, so I will be here with everyone once again. I think I was telling them last season, I think I casted on it, so it's kind of in fashion that I'm always here doing something. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you all have a great episode of Professors here with Kaz. We're gonna learn a little bit about István, our newest test subject, and he's kind of a fun one. I've seen a lot of fun things going on with a lot of these people in rank, so let's think we can get right into it and kind of talk a little bit about him.
Absolutely. So, do we want to start off with maybe a description of István?
Yeah, sure.
So István is very similar to what I was presented with Hisui, a carry bruiser, where he is a melee character that has a lot of strength in extended fights, has a lot of sustain, and a lot of burst damage potential, with some combo and outplay potential as par for the course for these melee carries.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to start off with him. Yeah, he's kind of a little bit different here. So, yeah, I think we can go right into it. I think we can get right into the builds here and kind of get the show started, as they say. So, as you did see there, we think we had about 3 builds for you, but we'll only go through one of them here to start off with.
Oh yes, just a quick summary. So this one is the one I'll be running through for the stream. This one, we'll have all of them in the chat for you. The team utility one is actually the one I'd probably recommend the most for beginners. And then this one I've seen other players play. I don't prefer it, but I just wanted to leave it as an option. And this is a much more assassin playstyle. So for the standard István, we have a route that at least starts with a certain attack speed threshold and a certain CDR threshold. You actually always want to keep this CDR and attack speed threshold when you're doing it. I will go over the skills in a second, so you'll understand why. But it's important to have your 30% CDR and then a decent amount of attack speed so that your character plays really fluidly. Blink is what I would recommend to be the attack skill of choice in most situations. I have seen people talk about False Oath. I just think, in general, Blink gives you the most outplay potential and also gives you the opportunity to escape maybe bad fights or weave in and out of a fight and catch out a priority target maybe. It just gives you the most flexibility, and in general, Blink is just very versatile. It's very hard to find a character that Blink is bad on, so definitely try both, and you can tell me what you think when you test it out, but I personally prefer Blink on this character. As for augments, this is the standard page. So we have Vampiric Bloodline with either Contempt for the Weak or Frenzy. The highest rank Istvans I've been seeing and the ones I've been watching, they go between the two. I might do Frenzy for one game and Contempt for the Weak for the other. We'll see. But I think Anima Reaper is always a must-have, and then Embolden is incredibly strong because this character has a lot of healing, shields and healing in his kit. We'll go over that in a second. And then Cavalcade or Steadfast are both fine. It just depends on what you want to do. So transitions, I'm going to talk a little bit about multiple different ones. This is the basic transitions. I actually think there's even better options sometimes, depending on your team composition, where you can also, instead of going auto arms, you can go Helix, and instead of Laurel Wreath, you can go Commander's Headset. You'll see some of the stronger Istvans on the North American ladder, at least going for that build. I do think Omerta is best in slot for chess piece. Genshin, you kind of have to build because you need that certain attack speed threshold I was mentioning. And again, you need to get 30% CDR as well. However, your build will enable you to do that. And I think Blade Boots is just a great option because it gives you anti-heal in your build. As for abilities, if you watch the Lumiapedia, you might have an idea, or you play the character, but I'll go over all of it again real quick for you. So your Q is a lunge forward, and before I mention actually all the abilities, I should mention his passive. So whenever you get 4 stacks, you will cast a variable of your ability, which is basically an additional hitbox that has side effects relative to the actual ability you're casting. So for Q, it's an AoE slow, and it's also a execute at 20% or lower HP. For W, it's another AoE swing of a spear, and like in a cone in front of him, and the variable effect will heal you a little bit, and it scales based on the health you've lost. So it's actually really good to turn fights, and it makes him very, very, very tanky in these elongated fights because he's constantly healing up. His E is a dash forward, and then his variable creates a knock up wherever you casted your E towards. It's a little delayed, and I think this one is the one you want to be the most careful with using. I think it's the one you use the least in the middle of fights. It's more when you want to start a fight. And I was talking to the highest ranked István on North America, Aquafina, and they were telling me that it is really important to make sure to only use this for vision cheeses and not really in the middle of a fight. Focus more on using your empowered Q or your empowered W, depending on the circumstance. And then for your ultimate, it is probably the biggest skill check in his kit in terms of when you use it. You want to use it to follow mobility. It's a targeted ability. So if you just blow it really early into the fight, they'll be able to dash out. And this is a lot of your damage and a lot of your burst and kill potential. So understanding how to hold it and bait out like either blinks or dashes from any of the backline carries is really important because you will be able to isolate and kill a target really easy. There's a lot of damage coming out from this ultimate ability. And if you have any kind of setup, any kind of CC tank, it makes it really easy to land all 3 hits, which will just like annihilate any backline carry. And then as the passive, again, as I mentioned, has the variable mechanic at 4 stacks, which the stacks you can get from either casting abilities or auto attacking. I'll go over this when we go into practice tool, but they actually stay forever. So you can pre-stack, but also you get movement speed when you trigger a variable. So there are some builds that maxing passive earlier is actually not a bad idea, so you can weave in and out of a fight.
Interesting. That's a lot more info than I thought there would be with them. So yeah, thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we get into practice tool here?
Absolutely. I think in general, this character is pretty freeform. I don't think there's a lot of actually true combos like you might see on a Hisui
Mhm.
or some of the other characters like Camillo. I mentioned Camillo because I played a lot of Camillo, but Hisui I did the professor on, and she had some actual true combos. A lot of István is just adapting to your cooldowns in the fight because you're not always going to get the perfect variable for what your cooldowns are. So being able to cycle your variable is really important. Weaving autos is really important, and just being willing to adapt on the fly because again, the combos kind of are freeform. There's nothing that really confirms into itself. So understanding that each of your variables has its use in the fight and just getting the reps in the character to understand when to use them.
Awesome. Yeah, well, let's get into the practice tool here. It's always like a crazy mouthful when you hear all these abilities and you're like, oh my God, what does all this mean? But then you get into practice tool, it all starts to kind of make sense and everything. So we'll jump right in here. We'll kind of show everyone the route and then, some other tips and tricks with the character as well before we get into a couple of norms games here. So yeah.
As you mentioned, I did just dump a lot of information. I actually think this character is pretty straightforward when you've played the character.
Hmm.
I think a lot of the skill expression just comes in like good usage of your abilities, but I think actually every ability is pretty simple to use. I think comparatively to the other character that we were doing a professor on, Hisui, I actually think this character is a lot easier to pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
Always
Is there
start your E.
anything?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. Yeah, always I was gonna ask. I was like, is there a certain ability you start with? But you jumped right into it.
Yeah, always start your E because it's your dash skill, so you'll just be able to traverse the map a little faster. You can just kill the chickens when you're doing this route. In general, this there's not a lot you have to worry about picking up. Just make sure to pick up your flowers and leather at some point on this route. And yeah, you skill your E to get around and just loot more efficiently.
Cool. Is there anything additional you pick up while you're routing around?
If you've memorized what your transitions are, you can pick up your transition materials. There is inventory space. So I accidentally just skilled my E twice. Don't do that. But it doesn't matter much because we're doing this in practice tool anyways. But yes, on this build, you should max Q into W. You can, if you like the playstyle of maxing passive first, max passive first. I mentioned it for a reason. I think it is quite strong if you are playing to play in and out of fights more often, but otherwise it's not necessary. I don't think it's necessary.
Hmm. Whoa. And just like that, we're done.
Not even that, like I didn't do it especially fast, but it's not
Yeah.
a hard route at all. So I'll probably just go over the abilities now, unless there's something else we want to go over first.
No, I think that's fine. Yeah, we can go over the abilities. I see our E can go over walls. That's pretty neat. That's always a
Yeah,
nice tip to know.
absolutely. So again, I mentioned this when we were going over the abilities, but if you noticed, on my character, there is just the 4 bars underneath me, and these don't ever go away. And these are the stacks towards your variable. So I actually think you should be doing like this is a majority of your István gameplay, believe it or not. It's just like pressing your abilities before a fight. And so you can always start with an empowered E to begin a fight because you can always prep your, but you can also prep so that you go into empowered W instead. So for example, I stay at 1 less than my threshold, and then I go ENW or ENQ. I get an empowered cast of that instead, or my variable cast rather.
Mhm.
So just knowing how to play around your variable stacks is really important. It's not that you don't have to hit animals to get your variable. So you should honestly just be casting while you're walking around. It might mess up your movement a little bit, but as long as you're just eating to get around, it's so worth it because having being able to start the fight on a variable, depending on what situation it can be changed, but is really impactful. Like you can just start fights out of vision, Ian, and then go for like a combo into that. The E into D skill is not like kind of a fit combo. It's not 100% true, but you can actually sometimes confirm into it from the E knockup, and that's pretty valuable. And that can, after the knockback from your spear skill, R becomes a lot easier to hit. So taking advantage of that is really important because it's a slow plus a knockback.
Mhm.
And then making sure that you are a spear character, right? So staying at the max range of your autos is really important. Your W is the same range as your auto. So when you're chasing people, don't actually use your W because you'll lose effective distance. It's really or use your variable Q to get the cooldown. And then when you're on top of them directly, you can start W again.
Cool. And yeah, we can just do a quick run through of the abilities, but also could you repeat that one more time? I think we had a mic cut out situation there.
Oh, no worries. So again, your W is the same range as your spear auto range. So
Mhm.
when you're chasing people down, make sure that you are actually not using your W, just auto. And then whenever you're directly melee range on top of them, then you can W. But focus
Okay.
on mainly using your E and your variable Q that gives you a slow and has a little more range. And this
Oh,
character can space out really well because he's a spear character.
yeah, yeah, I was noticing that too at the start. Yeah, we'll kind of run through the abilities one more time here, just so people actually have like a visual of what's going on. And then yeah, I think we can kind of move on. But yeah, if you just want
For
to
sure.
showcase the abilities here.
So here's your Q. Let me stack up the variables so I can show you the variable Q too. So this is the variable Q. You'll see there's a little AoE slash he does in front of him. It's really cool, like all the clones and stuff. But that is a slow and an execute at 20% HP. Or 30%, sorry, less than 30% HP. So using your alter Q or your variable Q is really important in fights when you're doing cleanup duty or when you're chasing. This is the main variable ability I think you should be using in fights is your variable W, because this gives you a heal based on your missing HP. And when you're staying in a fight for a long period of time, this is what gives you a lot of effective tankiness.
Mhm.
As for the last one, you have your E, which is just a standard dash when you don't have the variable, and then when you do have the variable, it becomes a knockup as well, a delayed knockup though. So the knockup will go to where you casted your dash initially, but it goes after a little bit, right? So it's not the best in the middle of a fight because people will like when you dash on top of them, they're gonna dash away from you or like move away from
Yeah, makes sense.
get a surprise effect. And then your R is a dash, and then 3 altered abilities come out, and you'll see the hitboxes, right? There's like little lines around. You want all of those to converge in the center, right? To do the maximum amount of damage. And this is what can just like straight up one shot people. So making sure to play off your teammates' slows or CC is really important.
Awesome. And then you kind of talked a little bit about D skill. So like we'll just kind of highlight on it again just in case anyone missed it. Like when's a good spot to use your D skill?
So if you so there's a couple of ways. So if you get a knockup with your E, you can D skill R or something like that. You can also just use your D skill to make space in a melee matchup. It's really good to just keep yourself because you have the range advantage against a lot of melees. So keeping them at your maximum range is pretty important. You can also use it for the slow, but really it should be used mainly, I think, to just space out. I don't think you need to combo into it because your R should be saved for dashes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, is there anything else you wanted to touch base on here before we get to the next portion?
Yeah, don't fixate on flashy combos. This is not as good as you think it is because people will just dash away from it. Save your R
Mhm.
to follow their dashes. But you can do something like this, wait out a dash, and then ult. That's a lot better than trying to get it all out at once.
Yeah.
And making sure just to auto whenever you have cooldowns or whenever you're in between ability usages, because that will get you to your next variable faster.
Awesome. All right. Well, I know it's the part where we go on to a couple of our games here. We'll showcase a little bit of István and some normal games. I have a third special guest that will be in our games here. Unfortunately, Meek was a little bit stuck at work, but I did get Mr. Nine Eye Cash to join us in our fun here. So he'll be our third to join us in our games. And yeah, we'll keep on answering any questions people have. I did see someone ask how you can make the most out of your passive. I know we kind of highlighted that a little bit, but we can kind of talk about it again while we're getting in here.
Yes, your gameplay loop as Ishtvan is probably the most button mashy you'll ever see in Turtle Return. You should be pressing buttons pretty much constantly, even when you're just moving around the map. You should almost always have at least 3 of your stacks of your variable before you get into any fight.
Yeah, for sure. Any other questions? I haven't seen any come up here, but I mean, some other things that I like to highlight on is like, so I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit more when we get in the game, but as István, what is like your ideal team comp? Like what it is that you're looking for?
You definitely want an engage tank, like most melee carries, but supports are really good too. I think both Lenny and Charlotte are fantastic with the character. You get a lot more effective dueling potential with supports. I think honestly you can just play tank, Istvan, and backline carry, and it works fine. I think he fits into a decent amount of comps. I just think you have to kind of adjust how you play depending on the comp. You should never play solo frontline though. That will
Yeah.
never be fun for you.
Yeah, that sounds like the usual MO for a lot of these like melee bruisers. You're like, you never want to be the only one up there. You definitely want someone else.
I think
Um but yeah.
playing with another bruiser is really good too, where Kenneth or I've been hearing whisperings about Nikki being incredibly strong with this character. Any like direct just lockdown guarantees your R hitting all 3 variables, and that will just immediately isolate and one shot a target. So
Is there some trap items? Fake good ideas? Like so you're saying like is there anything you could do with traps specifically? We might
I've
have to touch on that.
honestly, I can't say that I've really had that much experience trying to play off my traps. The thing I can imagine the most is just using a variable E from a double guillotine or something, and then
Mm-hmm.
maybe getting like a combo off that.
Every choice comes with its
Yeah, it
consequences.
could be it. We'll have to we could definitely take a look here. It looks like we did have the Kenneth request coming in here. So we'll do that. Starting off, let's see which supportive. Yeah, well, let's go like this. This is fine. All
If I
right.
didn't have a Charlotte, I'd be showing the team utility build that I put in the. But because I have a Charlotte, there's no need for me to go like Commanders and Helix. Helix is incredibly strong in this character, though. Keep that in mind. I might actually build it in this game anyways, just to demonstrate it. I think Auto Arms might be a little overrated. I think it's incredibly strong, but I think Helix is very, very strong. So
Oh, so like, okay, they're asking like, are there items that you would think are good on him, but actually are not?
well, what a great segue from what I just mentioned.
Yeah.
So I was using the most used Ishvan builds for the standard build. I think
Mhm.
auto arms are not as good as everybody else does. I think Helix is incredible, but I still think auto arms have a lot of utility just because of the tenacity it gives you. But if it
Okay.
wasn't for the tenacity, doing a lot of the heavy lifting for auto arms, I'd say you'd go Helix every game.
Oh, okay. It's a good thought. All right. I think that was the only other question I've seen so far. So yeah, like you were saying, there's kind of like two builds we wanted to showcase. So like this one you were gonna showcase is the one that we were kind of talking about in the practice tool, right?
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
I didn't want to immediately jump to a build I didn't just mention, but I might show off the other like more utility centric build. I don't. Again, I gave the code because I've seen people play it. I don't like the 10 build. I think it plays antithetical to how you want to play this character, which is long
Hmm.
fights, and you're putting a lot of your eggs in one basket, which is basically just one shotting one target, which you can do on a more bruisery build anyways, and you have more more ability to last through a fight as well.
So yeah, it looks like we also have a request to see his dance. Like a Korean dance. Is that what it's based off of? Oh yeah. But he might have one of the better dances.
It's kind of cute. I like it. I like the little like no does.
Yeah, they're getting creative.
I appreciate the little references that they've been putting into the dances lately. It's a great job, and I think the
Yeah.
animators. This character looks so cool. Like I didn't really talk about it enough, but I actually think like abilities wise is one of the coolest characters they've made in quite some time for Eternal Return. Just
Yeah.
the variable abilities, making like a second István that like does all the abilities. So cool, so cool.
It is very cool indeed. So we haven't really talked about transitions yet, so we can kind of talk about that now. Is there any transitions that you like to prioritize?
I think Omega and Helix should probably be your first priorities, other than Genshin. Genshin
Hmm.
Silvergun is really important because while you're on Dragon Guandao, you don't have attack speed from your spear slot, and you're gonna need that eventually. So
Okay. So you're usually looking to rush a force core, and if not that, then it's probably your spear.
yes, Mithril. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I was wondering if you knew a little knowledge check from my caster, but yes, it would be a Mithril. I think
I
I
was
would still
expecting.
probably call in the Force Core first,
Yeah, the force core
uh,
first. Okay.
and just hope that you can contest the Alpha, but it just depends situationally.
Mm-hmm. All right. And how greedy would you say he is at his items?
I think it depends on your team composition.
Yeah.
In this team composition, I'd be a lot greedier because I have a Charlotte, but I think we've already discussed on the Hisui professor that you should always give your first tree to Charlotte so that she can make her elf dress. But other than that, I think you shouldn't really worry too much about taking the if there's a backline carry, you can give them some of the resources first, but you definitely should take resources for yourself because you are a damage dealer. You
Hmm.
don't play Istvan to be a utility character. He doesn't have a lot of utility.
Okay. Looks like someone did ask, are there advanced techniques like animation cancels or skill overlaps with him?
You can always. It just depends. I think the most advanced technique, honestly, is just prepping your. But you can do, like spear skill into R. I'm actually
Mhm.
pretty bad at the combo, but you can do that. You can do empowered. So you can do variable E and two R as well, or D skill R, and that one can be. It's still a fake combo. It's not. You won't. They can blink out of it and dash out of it. But if you do
Mhm.
it fast enough, they might not react fast enough. But there's no like true like wombo combo 100% 100 to 0 without some kind of CC coming to it.
Okay. That is nice to
To my
know.
knowledge, at least. This character has only been out for a little bit, so you guys can prove me wrong in a couple. I mean, I was talking about how like I do not prefer Totem Hisui. I'm the last professor, and that ended up being by far her best option, I think, as the meta evolved for her. So
Yeah.
I want you guys to always stay up to date, maybe take advantage of any like servers you're in and Discord, or watch pro player VODs, anything like this. This is just an introductory level to the character, so you understand and you can start playing the character for yourself, and then you reach your own conclusions on what's best, make your own combos and things like that.
I see people. All right. Now's your time to shine. Oh, it's okay. So it is. Oh, I like.
Like,
They do not like you.
unlucky,
Run away.
unlucky. I did get hit by a Dylan R, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
win that fight.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay. Oh, Nine Cash to save the day. It's okay. You know, we almost had the glory play. You know, a lot of stuff almost happened, and then it just didn't happen yet.
I
It
just
is also fair.
suppressed
It's a
into the face.
2v3.
Yeah, no, there's no justice. Very unjust
Okay.
fight.
I'm here to support you. Um,
There we go.
how would you say his chase potential is?
Dude, again, just use your dashes and use the fact that you're a spear character to your advantage instead of just don't mash your W while you're chasing. That's like the biggest advice I can give you because you'll lose effective distance.
Yeah. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of requests saying that actually Charlotte is the carry, so I should actually be funneled. But because it's professors, we will not do that.
The Charlotte is the carry in any comp. Charlotte is very powerful. In fact, we're gonna give our Charlotte the first tree because
Okay.
this is the cast cross lesson. Okay. Elf Dress buffs 3 members of your team. Your Laurel Wreath buffs 1 member of the team. 3 is greater than 1. Some simple math for you guys.
Oh.
Ah, wow, very powerful.
I'm learning.
Thank you, thank you. See, Nana Cash is aware.
Noted. So at this point, we're just still farming. You already said that, yeah, you try to get your force core first, and then you try to prio alpha after this.
Yes, for sure. If you can get your alpha for your spear, that's pretty valuable. I'm going to not build auto arm so I can show you guys Helix. Sometimes it's hard to see the impact of items like Helix though that are defense shred because it's a lot of it is in the damage that you provide to your teammates as well. But it is very, very impactful.
This is a lesson on how to funnel your teammates as István and still carry. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I will start taking some of the resources and splitting it evenly between my Kenneth because my Kenneth is also a carry, but
Oh,
I definitely
he's
think you should
bad.
give the tree to your teammate.
Alright, we talked team toss, we talked about transitions. What about like VF? What's like your VF prio?
So I really like red shoes. I don't know if red shoes are actually better than spear. That's probably for the numbers and the spreadsheet enthusiasts to tell me. But I think having extra omnivamp and the increased anti-heal is, I think, higher value than maybe the little bit of extra damage you get from the armor pen from the VF spear.
Makes sense to me. And once again, thank you to everyone who said happy birthday. I still see it fluttering in, but now I can't type to say thank you, so I'll say thank you. I'm gonna grab this console. Oh, okay, we have people. So far, it looks so good. Okay, the cast cross cleanup. Okay.
So I was talking through fights is a little hard for me. I apologize, but you'll notice that I was sitting on my empowered ability cast and was not using my E because the Q just had higher value in that fight for me.
No, very well done. We used Nana Cash as bait very well. Maybe let him run in.
There, even though, oh, pardon me. There, even though, yeah, I'm still sick. Sorry, chat. But even though I had the opportunity to play off Nana Cash to CC, there was just enough of an opportunity where they were caught out that I could go for the raw ultimate on the Mai instead of waiting for CC.
Is István inspired by Virgil? Yeah, I'm guessing like you're talking about like DMC Virgil. I can kind of see that if that's like what you're talking about.
He is the storm that is approaching, so.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's just an aura farmer. Like any
Yeah.
cool character, like you think, like he's just there. I don't know if Devil May Cry was an influence but in general, he's just a really cool looking character with a lot of flashy abilities. So.
No, for sure. Someone's asking if is Helix better to slam before Omerta, or like what are your thoughts about that?
Honestly, I think Omer is probably better to slam in most situations, but because I trust my teammates a lot in Night Cash, I did decide to go for the Helix Slam just to give extra utility to my teammates as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need to play the selfish carry playstyle on solo queue sometimes because the lack of communication could lead to you needing to rely on yourself a lot more, then yeah, I'd probably just go to first.
Oh, people flying overhead. Hi. All right. So now we are chilling. You got your stuff.
Also, in a build like this, because I'm already overcapped on CDR, I could also go Blood Crown with my VF Blood.
Mm-hmm.
That's another way you can go. Look for a fight. Quite strong.
Yeah, we can look. I mean, I can force us to look for a fight. All right.
Here, I could also go Burgundy. I might do
Oh.
that actually. There's a
Yeah.
couple of options I could go.
There's quite a bit, for sure.
A former colleague of mine often compared people
Moving
to
along.
sand.
All right, it is. Oh, it is me getting ran at. I was gonna say it is day 3. What are they doing in there?
That was a battle for me, but I don't think it matters that much. It's like we win the fight anyways. There's an example of how fake variable E into ult is though, because even though I did land my variable E, I was not able to confirm into my ult. That's tough.
Mhm. It was a teaching moment to show what was good and what's not good, you know?
Absolutely, I definitely was not just pressing my buttons mindlessly there.
It's colder than expected.
Out of the box meta idea, how does Maelstrom sound on István?
I'm good, but you can test it out and tell me.
You don't like that idea? I'm coming, Nana Cash. All right, the 3 ult is down.
Oh, she parried my ultimate. That was good for them. Don't mind. I miss all my abilities and then win the fight anyways. Woo! So I'm
No,
gonna
no,
get
you-
this 4 score to Nanai because I'm just on pace to have enough credits for. Oh wait, never mind. I thought that was Omega for some reason, but I'm just probably gonna call in a VF Blood for Burgundy at this point because I don't need the CDR from Omerta, which is usually actually why I recommend building it so much because I
Mhm.
just elected to go Helix this game. Oh my teammate loves me so much.
Humanity's oldest measure.
Someone is asking about Eye Shield. What are your
I
thoughts on
do
that?
not know about that one, but
That's
again,
the quick step VF one.
yeah, I think I'd probably like not to go it, but you can test again. Anything that you want to try out, you should try out and just let me know. I'm always open to experimentation. I think often the optimal build isn't found for a while, anyways, on these characters. So take your
Mhm.
time, be willing to experiment.
Staying here won't make me feel
For sure. So we got the Burgundy. We got the stuff. Is there anything else you like would swap out on your build right now, or how you feeling?
I feel like this is a pretty efficient build, all things considered. Going
Okay.
to give this to 9.
Huh. Are you dead?
Importance of emotes. I always like to talk about it. Having like a no emote is so powerful.
Yes, I think using a wheel to communicate.
He says no.
Yeah, we need to show the power of the Helix István, so
All right.
I hope.
So we'll talk a little bit. So like, all right, this is our first team cup. What would you like to see next game? Like, what's something else we should showcase for everybody?
Have I been here
there
before?
was a lot of talks about Nikki being quite strong from our rank 1 Istvan Aquafina, so
Who knows? Maybe Nanakesh has a Nikki in him we didn't know about.
Oh, maybe Lucy Purr has a Nikki we don't know about.
Oh, whoa. I got that weight of meow man. Maybe not. Someone's asking if like there was one item that would be Istvan's like best item that you wouldn't. Oh, we are actually gonna pause as we have a fight starting. It looks like here. I am stuck in the ulti. I got you. It's okay. Okay, it hit me. It's fine. That's what I needed.
Got rooted though. I
on me.
might be the worst player of all time.
It is okay. I got hit by the ulti. It was a little scary for a second. Okay, so
Ah, there you got the wicked line. That's unfortunate.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, so if like what would Istvan's like best upgrade item be? Like what's the one item that you should never pass up on?
In terms of VF, or
In terms of just like anything.
I think probably red shoes, but
Okay. What about like if it's a gold item then?
gold item probably either Helix or Omerta, depending on your build route. Or
Okay.
your
So your 4-score upgrade is probably your most important.
absolutely. Your 4-score is just you should always be saving for your 4-score first. There is a Helix cowboy hat, or not cowboy, sorry. Helix Helix. Oh wow, I'm having Helix and Commander sets that build. I think is really strong. So that one's really good.
Cool. Oh,
The
we may
lovely
have a problem.
Oh, we might.
I don't know if I can get over here to help you in time. I'm trying though.
I almost played that really poorly after when I flashed into the wall or blinked into the wall.
It's okay. No, you can tell when something's about to happen because it always gets like really silent. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, being sick and having to play the video game and talk is a lot for poor Cassie Cross, but I'm trying my best.
It's a-okay.
Especially because this character requires a lot of button pressing, so.
Yeah, I noticed, yeah, you're constantly prepping your passive.
You should, yeah. In fact, I'm not doing enough in my opinion right now because I'm focused on also engaging with chat.
There are numerous theories regarding the origin of vital force. Any guesses?
This is definitely not my last, but like, I'm telling him to FC me because it's funny.
Are you dead?
Might just get the tech skill upgrade here. It's pretty high value.
Yeah, for sure. Oh. It's okay.
Wait out and then re-engage. That's a really good. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm not. Hopefully he's fine. I gotta follow the professor.
I mean, they don't really have anywhere to run. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay. No!
Let them take the runaway, I guess. Pardon if my mic barely catches me coughing, by the way, chat. But
I haven't heard it. I
just
think you're fine. I think you're fine.
I've been trying to time it with my or my push to talk with my whenever I feel a cough coming.
Yeah, why is this not how you guys have two bloods? You guys should trade shoes.
There are numerous theories regarding the origin.
No, it would be sacrilegious to see a 9-9 cash build without red shoes on it. I cannot allow that. I'm sorry. I feel like I'd be offending NA culture if I saw that. Oh, he's too kind to me though.
Yeah, it's like the meme. Like I want a guy to look at me like Nana looks at red shoes.
Absolutely. And you never want somebody to look at you the same way Niall Cash looked at his, what was it? Was it Voltic? I don't know. It was what was the rapier he always transitioned off of to meteor claymore immediately?
It wasn't
It
Durandal.
was
It was Volti,
Durandal.
I
It
think.
was Durandal, right?
No, I think it was Volti. Me.
Yeah, no. Yeah. What was it? What's the pink rapier, or like the one that kind of glows? The red one that kind of.
Oh, that's Durandal, yeah.
Yeah, Durandal. The Durandal would be dropped within like the night. He moved on fast.
He did indeed. All right, so we have our last fight. We have a Theodore team. That's kind of scary.
We did beat this team before when they had Wickerline, but I think they might be a little less greedy with the engage now, so we'll have to be a little smarter.
So do you
We've
have
seen
to
them
like
walking
what are
into
you looking for here? When you look at this team, you're like, what do you want to do?
I'm hoping Nine Cash is just the god of engagement that he is. Probably just go a little early, or let's say walk into our zone.
We can take a look. We take a peek. You see what's going on. Oh, they're gonna see my trick. That's not fair. Someone went insane, but I hope they are okay. Okay. No! Okay, it's okay. I think we clutched this up. Okay.
Some
No,
side character
yes!
activities. Some side character activities as our true hero comes out to save the day.
No, my professor on the ground. I tried.
Sometimes you gotta be a little bit of a side character. I did get a pretty big knockup before I went down in the fight, and then was able to get my R off. So it's a pretty good fight. And then I think there was a pretty impactful. I should have probably just stayed in the fight instead of trying to walk out, because I think Lucy wasn't on 30% CDR on Charlotte, so it's kind of hard to play around the heals outside of like one big heal. So trying to just buy the time for her probably would have been better.
Yeah, I was on 30%. I'm always on 30%. All right. We will do one more here.
We got one win. That's already a faster win than the last professor. So 3
Yeah,
for me to get a win.
I think last time we had like a quick Aether like,
Oopsies. So
Yeah,
that's good that we got a
oopsie.
game coming out.
Yeah.
Credit to
Thank
Nana
you
Cash
again.
for clutching up.
Yeah. Yeah, see, he doesn't need the red shoes. You needed the red shoes.
And I still died. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once again, thank you guys, yeah, for the birthday wishes. It is that day, and it is István Day. Like, it's like the best day for a birthday. But yeah, so we talked about team comps, talked about some item transitions. Unlike oh, how do I word this? Like on a difficulty level, like where would you place István?
Oh, sorry, I was using the wrong mic.
Oh.
On mute. I would say he's actually on the easier side, outside of just mastery of using his abilities. I think he's pretty easy to pick up. Unlike most melee bruisers, high skill ceiling, low skill floor maybe. For him specifically, some of them have a higher skill floor as well, but I think he is quite easy to pick up if you want to try him out.
Oh, that's a good question. Someone was asking what's his biggest weakness.
Two things. The pilot, having an ego. So this character is definitely easy to blow a lot of your abilities really quickly and then have nothing to get out. And then you will just die immediately. And I think also he is a victim of like getting locked down by a lot of CC. And then also if he just is against a comp that is not like he's not able to walk up and get in range, if he's getting outranged by maybe like a Lenore and another poke mage like Haze, that can be really hard. And then just a frontliner to keep him
Mhm.
out. That can be pretty hard for him too.
Yeah, so did you say like long range mages or like long range like AD carries? Like which one's gonna be worse for you?
It depends on the pilots, honestly. I think either or will be pretty hard if they're not
Mhm.
letting you get in.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
like a perfectly spaced Katya, you're not going to do much unless your teammates facilitate you to do something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right. What do we got going this
Oh,
time?
okay. I'm down. I'm down for the Kathy.
I'm waiting for our guest appearance here. Like, what does he want to? Is he? Oh, okay. He wants to do that. Okay. Wait. Okay. I will. Where is it? I will be the one. It is I.
Okay, I might have to go. Maybe for the one time for the content we'll do the pen István.
Whoa. That looks fine. Yeah, so someone was asking what the ideal comp is. We can kind of highlight that again. Like, what are the comps that you would like to look for when you're playing István?
Double bruiser support is probably the best one, but also tank, backline carry, and István also works just fine. I think both are pretty effective, and it just depends on. Just keep in mind that you should not be going to build like this if you're going to be playing around also a backline carry. And never pick this again. I'll repeat it. Never pick this character if you're the solo front line. You will not be having a good time.
Nessie says, my team said he's broken and everyone else called them idiots. I need a defense for them. What?
I think the character is pretty strong in the right hands. I think
Mhm.
that is a very nothing statement, though. I think you can say that about literally any character in the game. But I do think that as people get better at the character, he will probably seem a lot stronger too.
Yeah. Okay, so I heard the request was to like have a Nikki on your team. What's the secret of having a Nikki?
You get guaranteed all hits, like it's a guaranteed center of your ultimate, which will just immediately obliterate somebody. Which is why I want the pen build, because it'll be really funny to see. I don't know if we'll win this game, but you'll probably see us one shot at least one person with the ultimate combo.
Okay. Is there like a certain like distance I need to worry about? Like should I not be ulting max distance or like should I like do a call out?
Yeah, probably just a call out.
Okay.
Usually, like comps like this are better when you have some form of communication, because you'll notice this a lot in solo queue when you play. Sometimes your tanks are a little too far out for you to play off of them properly,
Mm-hmm.
and so but you're not always going to be in communications with your teammates in solo queue. So also just be mindful of what your teammates are doing. Pay attention.
For sure. All right, I will give the best Nikki I can give. I think I've only played this character like not even 10 times, so it'll be interesting to see. Surely I got this though.
I believe in you. Multi-talented birthday gamer. I believe in it.
All right. We will see what we can get up to this game. So, okay, now that you're on the pen build, do your transitions like change at all?
Absolutely, you go tactical armor and a lot of other items that you would not go on your normal build.
So it's just like
It's
a
basically
normal
completely
like
different.
yeah, normal like armor pen build. Armor pen
Honestly, you
items.
might be able to get away with building tack armor in some games on a bruisery build too, but I have not tried it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Definitely one of the bigger changes, I think, in terms of itemization is that there is no breakpoint required in terms of armor pen as a stat for you to get the execute on tactical armor.
Okay.
Also, I think I need to fix this build because it recommended you take another point in W before you max Q. So I apologize if somebody's tried that already. But yes, max Q into W on all your standard builds, and then the utility.
Boom!
That was a lot of damage. If I had a little more juice in the tank, we might have been able just to spray 100 to 0. Now let's help our protagonist 9 Cash. Again, just try to make sure that you're not using your empowered E in the middle of a fight if you can afford to, because the empowered Q will do a lot more, or empowered W will do a lot more.
Oh, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, that's a party.
Uh-oh. Oh my god, what am I doing here? It's okay, I got my...
Oh, I got
No,
juked, I got
I
juked. I'm
got-
so sorry, I'm so sorry, my friend.
Oh, wait. Wait, not his bobbin weaving? Oh my god, that guy is like stuck?
I am, no. I'm so sorry, Please forgive me, There's some villains on me, Help. Theodore might have ulted for me, but we're gonna try to get out.
There's so many places I'd like to explore at my own pace.
You know, I consider myself a survivor for getting out
Oh
of
my
that.
god.
Oh my goodness.
Power.
It's been a party this whole game. Very active and so you'll see that a lot, honestly, in most of your games as you climb the higher ranks. Cemetery is just a very contentious area, along with Chapel, just because a lot of builds in there.
Mm-hmm.
So just being aware of that. Again, just try to avoid as much as possible.
Oh my gosh. It's okay. We will wait for you to come back. We will secure the tree shortly.
We took a tactical retreat after a lot of fighting, like day
I
cycle.
fear we are not getting the tree.
There is a meteorite to be taken though. On delay. Oh, there's somebody spawning on it? Hopefully my teammates can get to me in time. Oh, I got a pretty bad spawn to contest this. Let's see though. Oh yeah, it's gone. Unfortunate. No RNG cycle for your caster team.
Come. Going on. Wait. We need to make our way back to Kaz. These guys
I'm on
won't
my
let
way,
us
team. I'm on my way,
free.
team.
I don't have ult, but
Sometimes I envy the untainted imagination of children.
Okay. Oh. This is why you don't go this build, by the way.
this is not looking so hot so far.
They actually just immediately snapped me out of existence. They might have gathered the Infinity Gauntlet.
It's okay. We're showcasing how hard this is gonna be. You know, I think you need items.
I really do. You don't do a lot of damage on your base build with this build. You definitely want to get your tactical armor online as soon as possible.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Well, we'll get there. You know, and I didn't have ulti. Like, we didn't actually have the forbidden combo.
We can go hotel.
Yeah. It's okay. Just a fresh little, like, reset.
Glass cannon builds like this make it really hard for you to stay in a fight and manage to actually sustain. One of the, I think, the strongest things about this character is just his variable W, and you don't get to play him around it as much if you are on a more glass cannon build. You just don't have the HP or defenses to play around.
Makes sense. Oh, I think I just saw ping.
But this is a good demonstration of why I wouldn't go that build, just because of that fight right there. Also, you just don't have a lot of attack speed on this build either, which makes it...
Are you ready?
Oh, one second. Let me make this. All right, I'm going in.
Oh, I wasn't close enough. Okay, it's okay. We got our one.
Okay. Alrighty then. That was some damage.
Going on the... Oh. I was trying to go on the Razzie, but they are far. Oh no, my W wasn't off cooldown.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think we're catching these guys. Oh my gosh.
I have my ult up in a sec. Oh, wait, well. Insec. Hello.
Might be some shenanigans going on.
Many a shenanigan.
No!
Nine Cash might have gotten playmate done. I should boom.
I think they
wasting so much
found
time.
him. I think it's just not just. They're just hunting him down.
I was just too enthralled by watching Nine Cash's gameplay that I completely forgot about my timer, but we don't worry about that. Because we'll be getting enough kills anyways. Agreed!
Yeah, so I think
Nice.
I found our issue. We blow up one person, but then we're kind of out of juice.
Yes, that is mainly the problem. You still have damage, but you don't have the attack speed you usually do in this build. So
Yeah.
you can get one guy down and then hard. But we do have the tactical armor online now, so tactical nuke can come here.
Are you dead?
I can make it Twilight or something.
I have to fly to you guys. It's a little awkward, but I'll get there soon. Don't you worry. You guys okay?
Oh my goodness, please, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, my friend. Please forgive me.
All right. We have a long way to go. This game.
Yeah,
Not
this
going
one is not as good as our last game. But this is important to show you guys that not every build is a good build. As I take my entire HP bar from like 1 IQ plus W.
Oh my god, and there's a whole nother team. Oh.
Let's go retreat.
I don't think it's okay.
They don't have vision, so we're okay. No worries. Oh, I do have a key card.
Oh. This is some tech right here because every lab has a kiosk. So we get to escape efficiently. No, okay, but this is a mutant lab, so like... Oh, I see.
I'm not doing it alone. I'm not doing it alone. I don't have that dog in me.
No? What if the gate was locked? How unfortunate would
That'd
that
be so funny.
Yeah.
You see that in the next patch notes?
All right.
This build is quite funny though. You can do this on a lot of the characters too, not just István.
I fear we've only been able to do the thing like 2 or 3 times, and it's not going so hot.
Yeah, it's a little difficult, but it is very funny when we pull it off. This build you definitely want to go for empowered E engages a lot more too to follow up on your teammates.
Yeah. See, Nana has found someone. I don't know. This might be the one team we don't want to fight. I don't know if you guys know this, but we keep on dying to them. Oh, Nana's
Doesn't
crazy.
mean Nine will not try though.
I'm
I
going!
really like that.
I can't get him! Wait, I got one. Are you guys okay?
Yeah,
I
you got
can't-
yours. Okay.
I can't stop. Wait, I
We're
can stop it.
We're engaging.
I stopped the res? I did not stop the res. I lied. It's okay though. I fear we cannot save Nine though, and it's a problem.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. It's unfortunate we got the res off there, but we have enough crits to res at least. I could have
It's
played that
okay.
fight a little better too, though. I think I needed to actually go in with my empowered E there to re-engage.
I fear that we are running out of credits.
Okay. The tariffs are hitting us hard in internal return.
Yeah, we got no items. So okay. So what do we do? We got no items. Oh, I got a tree.
We'd probably give that to Nine to give him the
Yeah.
elf trust.
All right. We got okay. We're slowly coming together.
Our arch nemesis are back again, but this time they have red shoes. I will take the path of retreat.
We gotta run. Okay. Well, we have successfully ran.
They're hot on our trail.
I feel if we had a consistent DPS, this wouldn't be going so bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistent DPS coming. It might be damage per screenshot, but...
Alright, there's still 6 teams alive. Oh my god. Melting this guy to help Dinah.
I got one. We got it. Okay. Good looks.
Okay.
Okay, we're going.
Recovering.
Salvage the game.
Salvage the game.
No, the game is unsalvageable.
Oh no.
What a spring trap coming out from Nana Cash.
Okay. Oh.
We re-engaged him now that the Kiara ult is down. Woo!
I'm melting. Oh, just kidding. I'm trying. Oh, I cannot get to the William. I'm melting to William. Oh, just kidding. He died. Yeah, why do you need me? You got the 9 cash. Like, I'm just here for fun.
This guy's the main character, I think.
Well, team, what should we do?
I'm just hoping to get a 4 score at some point.
I'm gonna ult the Rio. Be close enough. Ulting.
I don't have ult yet.
Oh.
Alright. I can probably kill him, though. I'm gonna look on the Luke here.
Okay, we got ours.
I'm trying to deny yeah, I'm gonna deny the res if he's going for it.
Okay.
Thousand. What?
Okay. We are slowly coming back. It's just taking a very long time. Oh, where are we going? Oh, we are not going anywhere. Just kidding.
Oopsies. Probably just go hospital here, I think.
Okay.
And yes, this is also a pretty lore important character because he was one of the researchers for the experiment.
Whoa. Lore drop.
Lore drop, wowie.
Alright, guys. What is the next plan? Nana has money. What else do we need? There are people on the pond bridge.
It's okay. Tactical nuke Ishtvan is on the way. Fully enabled now.
May those who remain.
Oops.
We're about to drop a Moab on him. It's all good. Oh wait, you actually don't have 25% CDR with this build. Probably what, or 30%. It's probably why you want the Laurel Wreath.
Remaining cautious is essential.
Oh,
It's okay.
that scared me. I was like, who the heck is here? All right.
No, we're not even that behind anymore.
I know. We don't even look that bad. Oh, wait, someone's TPing here. On me, on me. Y'all look at the car. Ready? Oh,
Oh,
you yelled at that guy?
oopsies. Okay, that's all right. Just try to get the execute on her. Oh no.
Okay, run back. Oh no!
Disaster. Maybe Nine can run to the others. Oh wait, maybe Nine kills actually. Okay. Oh my goodness, my teammates are the best. I'm getting carried by my two teammates at all times.
Okay, I was looking.
Oh! Wait, I might have played that as terribly as possible.
Nah, I don't know if I could save you. Oh no.
I definitely just walked into an entire IAW. Professor, by the way. Woo, woo, woo. Okay.
It's
But,
okay.
you know, we gotta win for the chat, so.
Yeah, I mean, we got the win, so then we got to have fun. Like that's the, you know, that's like the trade-off. You get your win, and then you get to be a little silly.
Is there any other questions that chat has for us, though?
We will have to take a look here. Yeah, any other last minute questions, comments, anything else you want to know? It doesn't have to necessarily be about directly István. If you have any questions about the game, anything like that, we can answer for you guys.
Absolutely. Look at
Or
this
if there's
damage coming
anything
out from my
else to say.
Nikki, by the way. Okay, okay, okay.
Oh. Yeah, I tried. I pressed my buttons in a sequential order that made sense. Any other good tech skills for him besides Blink?
I mentioned this at the beginning, but really I think Blink is just by far the best, but you can try False Oath.
Mhm.
That would be the only other one I'd really consider. Maybe some hidden tech with like Totem or something else, but really I think Blink is just by far the strongest.
What
And Blade
about
of Truth, I
Blade of
think
Truth? Yeah.
you might be able to play it as like a burst option. I don't think there should be any reason the variables don't come out when CC because it would be treated as a buffer at that point.
Mm-hmm. Noted, I'm gonna try it today. Okay, Poltu, see you in ranked. What about nullification?
I welcome all experimentation, especially if you were on the enemy team. Thank you.
Yes, any experimentation is definitely warranted here. But yeah, I think that is all we have. Unless is there anything else you wanted to say? Anything else you wanted to close off? The floor is yours, as they say. If there's any other shout outs or anything you want to say before we close up for the evening.
So I have a laundry list of people I talked to about this character to prep for the Professors. So again, shout out to Aquafina, Chibi Arc, Striker, Jast, Jin. I think all of these players gave me some input, and then as well as Shiroko.
So yeah, so I mean, if you guys ever have any other questions, feel free to reach out to them. I know some of them stream, and I bet a lot of them would give any additional info that you guys may need. Oh, this is interesting. Is Tank István viable, or does this heal scale off of AP?
Well, if it heals, it scales off of your missing health, so stacking HP is not the worst. So there is a build, the Bitter Retribution build, which is the second build, is more tanky and a lot more about your team utility with Commander's Headset and Helix.
So, well, I think that is all we have for tonight for you guys. So thank you for all coming around. It was nice to see all of you, and thank you again for the birthday wishes. It means a lot here. So I was happy I got to celebrate with you all. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys for the next professors, which will be Nia. And of course, don't forget, ERCS signups are still open. So please, 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 if you have not signed up, make sure you guys go and do that, because I believe it closes in 1 day. And we'd love to have qualifiers once again. So please sign up for that. And other than that, thank you for our production staff for doing this here for us. And I hope you guys have a nice rest of your night. And I will see you next time.